Okay, really quick. I have to make notes so I don't forget, especially when the Lord has given me something. And although I may not post this right now, it's fine. I got to do it so I don't forget. Okay? So I'm putting all this stuff away. We're going to discuss something really quick. I want to tell you something that the Lord was showing me this morning when I was in here making me and my husband's protein shake this morning. So as I was standing in here, the Lord was showing me that people are so quick to talk about marriage with communication and the love language and, you know, making memories and the good, the bad, all that. But nobody really stops to talk about the real and the raw. And what I mean by that is when God joins two people together, He already knows the beginning and the end. He knows who can reach you. He knows who's for you. Now, the question is are we going to stay in alignment with God, right? Are we going to walk the way God tells us to? But I used to deal with rejection really bad. And I would get really defensive if, like, Silas would speak about something. And I know in the depths of my heart it was true. But I would get an attitude with him. And I'm being honest and transparent because God is not going to help any of us if we try to cover stuff up. So I would get really defensive when he would say certain things or do certain stuff or bring up certain conversations or just ask me things about the past or whatever. I would get really aggressive and I would get a nasty attitude and it would lead to picking a fight pretty much, right? An argument, not a fight, but an argument. And in the beginning, he was like, okay, well, maybe, you know, that's a touchy conversation for her. Maybe, you know, she just don't want to talk about that and we're going about our business. All right. The Lord started to show me that it's behind these walls in your marriage. Each one of you knows the better and the worst, right? You bring the best out of each other and you bring the worst out of each other. That's the way it's supposed to be, okay? But it's those conversations that is struck out the middle of nowhere that hits and just stabs the deepest part of you. And I'm talking about childhood wounds, traumas, soul wounds, things that you did. But I'm going to tell you something. That is where the growth begins. And I used to question why this would happen. Oh, God, why do I got to tell my husband about stuff that happened before I ever even knew he existed? Why do I have to talk about this stuff? Why are you making me tell him stuff I don't want to talk about? Because I suppressed things that it went so long that I forgot they even happened. God had to bring back to my remembrance things that I went through. So there would be certain things that the Lord would make my husband do or make him say, even in his sleep, okay? Even in his sleep, there was things that was happening. And so I was pretty much forced to bring this stuff to the table and talk about it. But I started to notice something. I started to notice that when that happens and I bring that to the table and I talk about that, or God tells my husband and he talks to me about it, I'm noticing that there's healing in those areas. I'm noticing that that conversation don't strike me as bad as it used to. I don't cry in a corner no more because you touched a touchy conversation. I don't blame you for being the bad guy because you're trying to bring the best out of me. I'm not blaming the other person now because, you know, you're trying to help me heal from things of my past. And I don't know what I was thinking or why that happened, but I started to see that I dealt with rejection. I dealt with, you know, being disobedient, very rebellious. I did not like... Oh my goodness, I did not like order. Do you hear me? And what I mean by that is I did not like to be told what to do. I didn't want no one over me. I wanted to do everything my way. And it was hard for me to submit, okay? And once I started walking with the Lord, that was a struggle for me too.